Hi, I'm Leanne Lee with another episode of Truly Home with CapFed. When thinking about increasing the value of your home, think about your basement. Whether you're finishing it for the first time or you're renovating it, think about what's going to give you the most bang for your buck. And I can tell you the first space will be adding a bathroom. If you can add a bathroom to your space, I promise you can't go wrong. The second space would be adding a bedroom. If you don't need another bedroom, add another family room. All of those things will really add to the bottom line of your remodel. Now let's talk about aesthetics. When thinking about the aesthetics of your newly finished basement, think about whether or not you're going to stay in it for the long term or you're going to sell it in the next 2 to 5 years. If you're thinking about selling it, stay neutral. Now, my client has chosen to do a combination. We went with neutral walls, we went with a neutral, very popular flooring, and then we added a little bit of her personality by adding this corrugated metal. What's great about this finish is we can easily remove it by popping off the chair rail and the baseboard. We can completely remove it, and a new homeowner can make their decor their own. If you decide you're going to stay in your home for the long term, my best advice is to make the space your own. Make a room that fits your family, whether it's a wine room, maybe it's a kid's playroom, or maybe it's a weight room. Just make a space that makes it more enjoyable for your family. Now, my clients love sports and music, and so they have decorated their basement with a theme. Now, we have this wall here that's still missing something, but we're going to go visit a friend of mine that has a really cool place, and he is going to find the perfect item for this wall. I'm here in downtown Parkville with the owner of Cool Vintage Watches, John Putnam. John, I'm baffled by this. How does a store called Cool Vintage Watches become one of my favorite places to shop for man cave accessories?
Well, Leanne, it didn't start out that way by any means. All this that you see has evolved over the last 5 years. When I first opened, I was selling mainly watches only. I was an online business for 20 years selling vintage watches online. Needed a change, decided to open a storefront. So I brought in vintage watches, and along with that, antiques and things, collectibles go very well together. So I brought some of that stuff from my basement, added it to this. Noticed that a lot of those items are going out the door just as fast as the watches were. So we enlarged into the next room over, and now we have all this, and it's just taken off from there.
Yeah, it's beautiful. So what would you say is the main things that people are coming in and looking for?
Just anything that has a vintage feel and look. 60s, 70s era items are going over very well now, especially in the vintage bar area and accessories. Okay. Lights, mirrors. Vintage barware itself is doing very well. It just has the look and the feel that you can't get from today's stuff. Okay,
and I noticed when I walked in the amount of record players and just the albums. I mean, that seems like a lost art. So tell me about that.
LPs, or what people are calling vinyl. I mean, they call it vinyl forever, but now that's the key term is vinyl. And I started buying that early on. And then it just started coming in the droves. And next thing I knew it, though, it was going out faster than it was coming in. It's just taken off. People love the art of the album covers. They love the music, sitting around listening to it like we did when we were kids. It's just a really unique thing.
Yeah, you put that barware and the LPs and then the crazy amount of sports memorabilia that you have in here. I mean, tell me a little bit about that.
Just anything, obviously Royals, Chiefs, and I've been trying to find some 60s, 70s, 80s era, that type of the memorabilia.
Yeah.
As soon as it comes in, it goes out the door too. So I
feel like it's such a man's store, but you said you have just as many women that come in here, right?
We do, and actually they buy a lot. with the barware, and I have new barware along with the vintage barware. It's just they really gravitate towards that, buying for their husbands or for friends or whatever it may be.
Sure.
Yeah.
Now, I have actually been in your basement, and I know that you have an amazing man cave yourself. But I know that you don't want to totally get rid of all your stuff. So where do you find all of this stuff?
Originally, garage sales, estate sales, and I would still love to do that, but I don't have the time.
Okay.
So I've found, though, that people are bringing it in the front door easier. It's so much easier for them to bring it to me than for me to go out and find it.
Right.
And that's happening a lot. And I'm very selective of what I put out. So it's just a neat way to get the merchandise.
Yeah, I think it's safe. It's kind of a good way to build some camaraderie, and it brings some really cool stuff in here that you may not be able to find anywhere.
I have people going out picking for me now.
Oh,
I mean,
my
they come back, and next thing I know, 2 weeks later, they found, hey, John, I got more stuff. So
well, you have created a niche for yourself, and I really love this store. So thank you, John.
Thank you.
Well, that's it. I'm Leanne Lee. I hope this inspiration has helped you make your house truly home.